Hello, says I Fat Cow. Well, apparently, if you know the right people, you can get anything done. Well, somebody who lived in the Middle East for well over a decade and was legitimately, legally married to somebody who was very well connected politically via their father, I have a few things to say. Firstly, when I say connected, you know, the kind of people that can get stuff done for them. In my experience, there are a few avenues, and that is to be directly related to somebody in a position of power or authority, to have a family name that carries a lot of weight, either due to their authority or their wealth, or to be independently very wealthy. Now, Salah is, well, he's a Syrian refugee. Is there anything else I can actually add to that? No. Being connected, having connections, can grease the wheels somewhat, yes. But it has limits. And the limits are official government paperwork, legal documents, you know, that kind of thing. You see, well, having the right connections, powerful enough connections, can get you off being arrested for something. It depends what the something you're being arrested for is, if you catch my drift. The mere fact, foodie, that you are continually visa hopping, by definition, means you don't have residency. If you don't have residency, you can't have a civil ID. And without both a civil ID and residency, you cannot legally get married. Salah didn't need to grease any palms for you to get married illegally. There were no palms to grease. You just literally print something off the internet and get some people to witness it. You're not legally married, foodie. Salah doesn't have those kind of connections. You saw how he was living when you first moved there. That is not the living situation of somebody who has connections. People with those kinds of business-like relationships tend to be, how can I put this, of a significantly higher demographic, and also tend to be citizens, as in nationals, as in they're Kuwaiti. I'd also argue that if Salah did have those kind of connections, he wouldn't have needed to marry you. Salah, as much of a master criminal as he is, I mean, look how successful he is in his enterprises and how far it's gotten him in life, doesn't have those kind of connections, foodie. Could you just shut up and drop the subject? We are never going to believe that you're married, and just because you've had 2 years to think up another story doesn't make it more so. Honestly, if this had been the case, if you would have told us right from the very beginning when people started questioning the validity of your marriage, you wouldn't have waited until now. It's just taken into now for you to think up the excuse. Good grief. Just drop it. We don't actually care. You should care because you're cohabitating, and that is public indecency and a crime for which your husband would be jailed for, and you would be deported. And for argument's sake, let's just say that everything you've just said now is true. You've just outed to the internet and therefore the entire world that your husband has committed fraud. Are you okay? You've just admitted to the whole entire world, should this be true, that your husband has committed some serious crimes. If your legal documents were required illegally, it doesn't make them legal. And you've just outed Salah as defrauding the government. Jesus. Worry about that, not about whether people who watch you on the internet believe you. You've got much bigger things to concern yourself with. And quite frankly, it's old. If you want to maybe try a new direction for things, how about not treating your audience like imbeciles or idiots, or believing that if you shout something loud enough, people will believe you, because that's not how it works. Sometimes the thing goes quiet because people are fed up of the shouting. Doesn't mean they believe you. It means they know there's no point. You are a veritable smorgasbord of issues that no medical professional from any discipline, mental, would touch with a barge pole now. So, you continue what you're doing. Be a mockery on the internet, a case study for future students, and just give in to your delusions, your deficiencies, your debauchery. Just give in. Just spend what remaining time you have left just being you and being less angry that everybody can see you for exactly who you are.